Hey guys, welcome to another deck profile. This time we've got with you the BUSTER BLADER deck profile. It's Hieratics BUSTER BLADER, but it runs about 3 or 4 engines, so it's got a really long name. I don't know what the name is. If you got a suggestion, just say it down there. But this is the BUSTER BLADER deck you've been asking for. I've been playing a couple of times since Scrubbling, and it actually does quite alright. But it kind of sucks if you don't play against dragons, of course. But yeah, let's go inside the deck profile, and I'll show you the combos at the end if you want to keep on watching. First of all, triple BUSTER BLADER. I don't like playing the quadruple BUSTER BLADER, sorry. I don't like playing the Destruction Sword BUSTER BLADER because you can't spec it from hand, because sometimes it does pop up and it's just really inconvenient that you can't spec it from hand. We also played another BUSTER BLADER, which is the one that searches BUSTER BLADER. And you can maybe bump this up to 2, but 1's fine. Because you can usually search BUSTER BLADER using Beatrice by dumping it to the graveyard or Foolish Burial. But if you hard draw BUSTER BLADER, usually discard it anyway using Jet Synchron as part of the combo, which I'll show in a bit. But play 4 BUSTER BLADERs or 5 BUSTER BLADERs, whatever you want. 3 or 4. At least 3 is mandatory though, so play at least 3. Right, so Destruction Sword bit, we play Triple Welt, one of the most useful cards in the deck, such as a Destruction Sword card, and these are your targets with it. These are your targets, just 1 of each. You can maybe bump this up to 2, just if you want more monsters to specimen from hand. But we got a new card in the new set, Dragons of Legends Unleashed, that makes you don't need to play more than 1 of this, which is this card, right over. So if you can specimen this if you got a Buster Dragon basically, and you can search it using Werewolf Vow, because it's level 1 tuner. So you can take that in later, but I'm not adding this in this build because I've not tested it, of course. So I'll be adding probably this soon when I get hold of a couple of testing games. But one of this. This one lets you super poly using dragons and a BUSTER BLADER. And good effect of this as well is that you can add it to hand from the graveyard by pitching a monster or any spell and trap card. But usually pitch a monster because if you got Automized Tzolkin on board and you don't have a back row and this is in the grave, you can just add it plan and set it. And it's very useful as well because it's so poly. This was the new card, one of the new cards in the Dark Illusions. This one lets you specimen BUSTER BLADER monsters from your deck, so if you play the Destruction Sword BUSTER BLADER, you can specimen that. But you have to discard a Destruction Sword card. In this build I only play about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, excluding that, 5 Destruction Sword card, which is why we only play 1. I used to play 2, but it's not really a good combo piece if you open it turn 1. It's really slow because it's a trap card. If it's a spell, it's a lot better, but it's not a trap card. It's not a spell, so it's a trap card. Second effect is very useful. You can banish this card along with fusion materials for BUSTER BLADER. So if it's in the grave, these 2 and a dragon, you can make the BUSTER BLADER fusion. Or if you want, you got Dark Magician in your grave, you can make Dark Paladin. But we don't run that. So this is the main as well. The main monarchs if it's equipped to a BUSTER BLADER monster. Usually equip it with the BUSTER Dragon anyway. So just 1, 1, and 3. That's my ratio that I like playing. And that's all the BUSTER BLADER Destruction Sword stuff. And this is the Hieratics bit. Let's start with the non-vanilla. So you play triple. Oops, that's not. You play triple Convocation, just to search all your Hieratics. Triple Sue, it's pretty standard. Triple Asset, because if you want to go first, Asset. And triple Tethnamid, if you want to go second. Tethnamid's the one you search. Tethnamid's useful sometimes as well to Black Rose, so if you go second, Specimen Tethnamid, normal summon level 1 tuner, because you got a lot of level 1 tuners in this deck. And use Black Rose. Asset. Normal summons SS, Specimen Sue, then with Sue you can pop back row as well, tripling monsters. And then the targets for these guys to specimen if they're tributed is the 2 tuners, Labradroid Dragon as well as Flambeau God. Labradroid Dragon's one of the most important one because if you get them out with a Hieratic, you can X these into Beatrice or you can make Automized Tzolkin. Now the option there depends really on what's in your hand, so it's very flexible what you do. And the Flambeau Guard is there for the Black Rose option once again, so if you got a Asset and a Sue, you can make a Black Rose if you want to. Or you can use the Flambeau Guard as well as a level 1 tuner for additional plays later on, because you can get it back with Lazuli. So that's the Hieratics engine, so that's the second engine of this deck. Now for the third engine, we play the Brilliant Fusion engine. So triple Brilliant Fusion. And the Gem Knight monsters are 2 Lazulis, Now Lazuli is played at 2 for certain reasons. Is because one, if I draw one, I don't want Brilliant Fusion to be dead, so you still got the second one in the deck. That's one of the more important reasons. And the second reason is that if you do use it, and you do use the Brilliant Fusion, and you don't have any more targets, because I only play one Seraphonite, which you'll see in a sec, you can also dump Lazuli with Beatrice effect, and that means that you can get a free plus from the graveyard, which is to grab the vanilla monsters from the graveyard. So that's the reason why we play 2 Lazulis. And Trick Clown as well, because you dump Trick Clown for the light material, and you take 1,000 to summon it from the grave. And now you got material to synchro with a level 1 tuner into a level 5 synchro, which is level 4. And the level 5 monster that we only play is the one that can dump this. If you know what it is, it's Axel Synchron. You'll see it in a bit. That's basically why we play Jet Synchron, because it makes Axel Synchron level 6, and Axel Synchron becomes a level 6 tuner, which is quite important because you can make rank 6 or Ultimate Tzolkin using the thing you make with Seraphonite. So Trick Clown and this. You don't ever want to draw these two. The main problem with this deck, other than everything else is fine, like drawing anything else is fine, but drawing one of these two is the biggest problem of the deck, because it stops some of your combos and it disables some of them. So maybe in the future, maybe think of ways to like fix how to get rid of them. Maybe play 2 of this, or maybe play different versions that can be different than Trick Clown. I'm not sure. Don't really know anything that's like that. So that's the 3rd engine, which is the Brilliant Fusion engine. Now the 4th engine, just a blue eye. It's not really much of an engine. It's just searches. This one searches the Buster Welt. That's about it. Sage with Eyes of Blue. Basically, what it does in this deck is you normal summon it, and you search this guy. This is the only target. And the second effect's irrelevant because I don't play any blue eyes. But if you want to attack in some blue eyes monsters, you can. Feel free to do so, but I don't really recommend doing that because it can make you break even more. So, and it's also a level 1 tuner, so that's quite important, because if you got Buster BLADER and this guy, you synchro to level 8. If you got Seraphonite and this guy, or the Trick Clown and this guy, synchro into it. I'll show you some of the combos that involves this as well anyway, so play free. This card's very expensive right now, so if you try to build this deck, I wouldn't recommend using this if you don't have the money, but you can still play without it anyway. So I've tried playing without it, and it works alright anyway, but less consistent, but it works anyway. But you should play Sage if you can afford it. 1 Glow Bulb because it's a good level 1 tuner. Usually dump it with Foolish Burial or Beatrice, but if you open Glow Bulb as well as Brilliant Fusion, you got combos there, because it's basically 2 level 1 tuners, this guy, so very good card. Just play 1 though, because it's once per duel. Foolish Burial gives you access to all of stuff. If you don't have Buster BLADER, you dump Buster BLADER. If you don't have Glow Bulb, you dump Glow Bulb. You can even send Lazuli and grab cards from the grab tuners from the graveyard, so it enables cards of consonance. You play 2. A very important card is just combos so much with a lot of cards, because you got a lot of level low attack dragon tuner monsters, so they're all searchable as well. So you salvage them from the grave. So just 2 draw power, very important, and 2 Twin Twisters just to go to the back row. So that's the main deck. Let's go to the extra. Of course, we play Ultimate Tzolkin. You saw it earlier. Now the targets with Ultimate Tzolkin, there's only 4 targets really. Because most of the time Tzolkin doesn't resolve anyway if you go second, but if you go first, your best target is probably BUSTER Dragon. You play 3 of him, because you can use him as material for a lot of stuff. BUSTER Dragon, if you play Buster BLADER, you should be familiar with this card, but if you're not, it makes all your opponent's monsters dragons. You can equip a Destruction Sword to your Buster BLADER monster during your opponent's turn, once per turn, as well as you can bring a Buster BLADER monster from your grave if you don't control a Buster BLADER already. So play 3, very very good card in this deck. And Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, just negate card effects and gain attack if you attack a big monster, but effects, negation is more important. This one, you play 2 of the fusion. Now this is an odd card because you can't attack directly, but you can do piercing damage. But it makes all of your opponent's dragons, which combos with this. You can't use the effects on the field, so also gains 1,000 attack. So it goes to 4K plus sometimes with piercing damage, which is very very useful. Play 2 because of the trap card, the new trap card that we got. Memories, that's it, I think that's what they're called. Because you can make a second one by banishing Buster BLADERs from the graveyard and then summon this from the grave. And it's very very strong card if you get it out with these 2. And that's it for the Ultimate bit and the Buster BLADER bit. But the other bits are Hot Dread Dragon Archfiend of Mist. There's a reason why I left this on there. You need a dark Dragon Synchro monster to make this, as well as level 1 tuner. Oh, what do you know? That's a Dark Dragon. So you can use that in a level 1 tuner to make this. And this one negates face-up cards, so that stops the Raigekis and all those annoying cards. And it can also summon tuner monsters from your graveyard if you do battle damage with it. So you should play one of this. It's very, very good. It's not that expensive anyway, so you should play that. Next bit is if you have too many Buster Dragons on the field, because sometimes you do summon 3 in one go. It's crazy. Sometimes you summon 3 Buster Dragons. You can overlay the 2 of them to make Titanic Galaxy. So just do. I think you know what this one does. It just negates spells. And if you want to do some damage, for example, you have a board like this. Of course, you can do that to attack for 2/4. It's just not a lot of damage, and you can just overlay these 2 into this and attack. I don't like doing that because this is a better lock. These 2 are better locks. But if it's game, you may as well do it and attack for 3k. That's why we play Titanic Galaxy. And Titanic Galaxy is also very good for freeing up space. So you usually have a board like this. Like this board. So I need some room for some monsters. Like I want to normal summon something. So I'm probably going to overlay these 2 to make Titanic Galaxy. And then set a card, use that, make Crystal Wing, then normal summon something, make Red Dragon Archery in the Abyss. So you can set up that board quite easily if you play it. So that's 3 negates if you do that, and it's usually game anyway. But you can also leave that on board if it's not a game. Just leave that on board if it's not a game, don't do that. But keep in mind that's also level 8, so if you got 2 of these, which does happen sometimes, 2 Buster BLADER monsters, and you can attack for game, you just may as well do it anyway. Let's do that. Attack. It looks funny if you see this. You got a Buster Dragon, which is a Synchro, and you got a Fusion, and you got an XE, so you got I like seeing this. You got a Synchro, a Fusion, and an XYZ on top, that's what. But yes, Titanic Galaxy very, very good in this deck, because you can sometimes make it, and it just negates spells. And next card is Black Rose. I mentioned it, just nuke the field. If you go second, just nuke the field. If you don't have strikes to stop it, then that's strike out of the way, they're forced to use it. So, and Stars Charge Warrior, as well as Axel Synchron. This is for the Brilliant Fusion bit, and then Seraphonite, just the one Seraphonite, because we don't have that many other Synchros that are low levels today. There's no room also in the extra deck. So Seraphonite is a very strong card because you can do 2 normal summons, so many cards that comes with it, including Hieratics, because sometimes you open a Tefnuit and an Essept, and if you go turn 1 with a Brilliant Fusion with that, you can do some combos, I guess. Axel Synchron, dump Jet Synchron basically and go to level 6, that's what you do in this deck. You don't go to level 4 to do that. And then you can synchro with the Jet Synchron from the graveyard, summon it from a grave, and then use it with the Seraphonite, and then make Stardust Charge Warrior. Very good card, it gives you a draw. Alternatively, you can use a Coral Dragon, but I haven't really tested that card. This is a new card. You can use that, I guess. That's from the Dark Illusion set. I'm trying to get a hold of one currently, but I'm not even sure if there's any room for it in the extra deck. But just play one of each of these. And finally, there's Beatrice. This card is so important in this deck because some games you just don't open Buster BLADER, but this card just dumps Buster BLADER. It's so good. And if she dies, you can summon Dante the Pilgrim because it's untargetable big monster. This card, you don't have to play this card. If you're willing to you don't care about Beatrice dying and don't get a card for free, you can probably play cards like Cyframe Lord Omega, which I did play before, but now I've dropped it for the Dante. Or you can play Stardust Dragon and a bunch of other stuff. Michael, basically ultimate Tzolkin targets if you want. So if you don't want like playing Dante, this is your flexi spot, so you can switch that for a bunch of other options. So, but I like playing Dante. So yeah, that's it. That's the deck profile. Hopefully that makes sense. But then if you want to keep on watching, I'm going to be doing the combos. Don't forget you can download the deck down in the description below for Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. So yes, let's go to the next part. Right, so this combo involves a 3-card combo. Of course, we open Brilliant Fusion, which is the most important card in the deck, I think, for the combos. We open Buster BLADER. Alternatively, you can open Foolish Burial as well as a back row, or you can open Emblem, which searches it. But if you have a back row as well, you can open it with the Buster BLADER. So that could be 4 cards, and you can do more stuff with it, this combo. But if you open only these 3, you still got a lot of plays anyway. So in this example, we open as much ham as possible because we also draw a card anyway with the Charge Warrior. And let's say we open a random back row that we can't use. So to start the combo, we drop the Brilliant Fusion. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. You can either summon this and drop Brilliant Fusion. But we drop Brilliant Fusion, That summons the Seraphonite, meaning that Trick Clown is also summoned, and we take 1k damage. So that means that Lazuli is now in the graveyard to make it as a future material. And now you summon the Sage to search the level 1 tuner, Buster Whelp, and then Buster Whelp. Now at this point, depends what you open. If you open, since it's a 3-card combo with a Buster Blader, if you open a back row, you want to search this card. But if you didn't open a back row, you want to search this card. Let's say in this example, we open a back row, like a Twin Twister, like a random one that we can't use really in this combo because it'll make the combo even better if it's something amazing. So let's say we open Twin Twister, so that's in our hand, so that's our hand at the moment. And normal summon this again, using Seraphonite's additional normal summon to search. So we'll search this one, so that's in our hand now. Now you got Buster Blader, this and that. There's a lot of pluses from 3 cards actually. Alright, so now we'll start with the Synchro plays. We'll Synchro with the level 1 tuner with the Trick Clown to make Axial Synchron, so that's level 5. Now use Axial Synchron's effect to go to level 6 by dumping Jet Synchron to the graveyard. Now Jet Synchron's in the graveyard, so that's level 6. Now you Synchro these two, the Buster Whelp as well as the Seraphonite for level 6, into Starless Charge Warrior, and then with Charge Warrior you can draw a card. Now I know you draw a card as well, so this is actually really good because the extra card could be a back row, which lets you do overplays. In this example, we just say we drew whatever. So now we're going to use these 2 monsters to make Ultimate Tzolkin, just at the bottom of this thing. Right, so Tzolkin's out. Now this is what I meant by if you open back row. I mean, if that was this one, you'll set this one now, and then trigger Tzolkin's effect. But if not, you set a random one, like let's set Twin Twisters. Trigger Tzolkin's effect, and now we're going to be summoning Buster Dragon. Now you're going to activate Axial Synchron's effect in the graveyard. I mean Jet Synchron, sorry. The level 1 tuner, this one. By pitching the Buster Blader from your hand in the graveyard. Summoning it. Keep in mind this can only summon Buster Blader from the graveyard, so that's why we had to pitch Buster Blader using Jet Synchron. That's why it's really useful, this combo. Now use effective Buster Dragon. Since you don't control a Buster Blader, you'll summon the Buster Blader. Now you got a Synchro play here. I'm going to Synchro again. This is banished as well because it's summoned by its own effect. A cool effect. We'll make a second Buster Dragon. And then Buster Dragon can now bring back Buster Blader. So we're going to bring back Buster Blader. So that's your board so far. And since we open back row, which is a Twin Twister, we can now use the effect of this from the hand to special summon it. You can also use the effect of Whelp from the graveyard to summon itself if you opened a back row plus this. So you'll probably pitch this from your hand to special summon this, and then you'll special summon this to make more stuff, but you don't have to do that if you don't open certain cards. So that's what I meant. This combo is very flexible. You can do a lot of stuff, different types of things, depends on what you open. But in this case, we're going to be opening just one back row in this. So we got an additional card in hand because we drew, remember? So we're going to equip that and then unequip it. Now at this point you got an option. The option is either to make the level 9 Synchro, which is with these two. Make Abyss. I think this is better than the other one, which is to make Titanic Galaxy. Because that Titanic Galaxy just negates one spell, and this one negates anything which it can negate the spell, so you can overlay those two into Titanic Galaxy. Oh, sorry. You don't make Titanic Galaxy, you make this using the Buster Blader and the Buster Dragon. And Buster Dragon will bring back Buster Blader. And with these two you make Titanic Galaxy, that's what I meant. So that's your combo. So you either open Abyss, either open these, you get an option. But I think this is better because this can summon a level 1 tuner from the graveyard, especially if you're going to be attacking. You can just summon this from the graveyard, and then you can make another one of these Buster Dragons from the graveyard, because you only use 2 during that. This is what I meant by you need to play 3 Buster Dragons, because you go into it so fast. So that's one of the combos you can do for this deck. And next turn, it's even better, because if your board doesn't die, which it probably won't because you got a lot of stuff, you can set a card, then summon Crystal Wing because of the Tzolkin, because you got 2 dragons here that are stopping your opponent. And also don't forget, next turn you can also use the effects of Buster Dragon to equip this from the graveyard to do Buster BLADER, meaning that your opponent can't go to the extra deck. So it's really strong doing this combo. Okay, next combo, let's go into it. Now this is a very long combo, but involves 4 cards. However, you can open them in a certain sequence, but you do need Brilliant Fusion in this, as most of the combos involves Brilliant Fusion, and you need the Buster Whelp as well. But you can also open the Hieratic cards. You can open this as well as one of these 2, and then you search the other one. If you're going first, and if you're going second, you want to get Theft Away because you get another normal summon with that. So in this example, we'll just say we go first. But just imagine that if you go second and you have Convocation, of course you'll set the touch to Tefno it, and you can do other stuff. So I'm not going to explain the response though. This is the more cool combo, which is to open 4 cards, 2 Hieratics to make rank 6 or Tzolkin, Brilliant Fusion, and Buster Whelp. So don't use Brilliant Fusion first. There's certain reasons. Keep in mind you got an additional card in hand, so let's say we got a random card you have in hand to use it once again. And first of all, we start using Asset, so you can normal summon it without tripling. That's your normal summon, so you're going to sack it off now to make Su, special summon, and then Asset will trigger special summon a monster from the deck. So we're going to be special summoning this one, Labradorite Dragon, and then we're going to overlay these 2 into Beatrice. Now you see in this hand we don't actually have Buster BLADER, so this is why the Hieratics engine come in useful, because it gives you Buster BLADER, basically a Buster BLADER search, because you dump it from the deck. And then we're going to be detaching Labradorite Dragon. Very important that you dump this one. Just dump Buster BLADER from your deck, because we overlaid with 2 level 6s, so that's now in the graveyard. And now this is when we drop the Brilliant Fusion, summoning Seraphonite by dumping Lazuli as well as Trick Clown. So we're assuming we don't draw the Trick Clown, and if we're assuming we're not drawing 2 Lazulis, because that's not possible at this point. So we're dumping these 2, we take 1,000 to summon Trick Clown. This is still in hand, by the way. And Lazuli will now trigger, giving us a free card from the graveyard, so we just got this add this BLADER from the grave. You're going to use this to discard anyway, so now we normal summon Buster Whelp and use the effect of Buster Whelp to search the search target that you want to get. It's going to be this one, Destruction Swordsman Fusion. I mean, you can extend this combo depending on what else you open. If you open like Quasi Consonance, that's even better, because you can make Tzolkin now and then use ditch the card that you don't have, and then use Quasi Consonance to pitch Labradorite Dragon after setting it for Tzolkin. But just imagine we don't open those. But you can see why. You can see the combo can be a bit better if you open certain cards like Quasi Consonance, because you can just pitch this to draw 2 cards. But same as last combo, we're going to be synchroing into Axial Synchron, and use Axial Synchron to dump Jet Synchron from the deck to make it level 6. Then use Jet Synchron's effect by bitching the Labradorite Dragon or another card in hand that you don't like. But Labradorite Dragon's a good card to dump because it's dead in hand, unless if you got a Consequences, of course, or a Said to specimen Axial Synchron. Then this will be banished, and then we'll make the Stardust Charge Warrior. And you draw a card as well, so you got 3 cards in hand now, 2 mystery cards that you don't really care about, you don't need them in a combo. So 2 level 6 monsters, 1 tuner, not 1 non-tuner, makes Tzolkin. Use the effect Tzolkin by setting the Destruction Sword card to make a Buster Dragon. Now Buster Dragon's effect now. Since we dumped the Buster BLADER from the deck using Beatrice, we can now summon it from the graveyard, which is awesome. So that is the board. It's a very strong board because in my next turn, now you end your turn, and then go to your opponent's turn. You have this set up so you can fusion this and BUSTER BLADER. Additionally, you can use Beatrice to dump Destruction Sword, one of the Destruction Sword little guys, to dump this. Now use BUSTER Dragon's effect to equip it to BUSTER BLADER, using the Beatrice effect to dump this. So basically searches this, and now your opponent can't go to the extra deck using the main. Or if your opponent tries to do something with the monsters they have, you can super poly this card and the monster they have to make the fusion monster. Now all theirs can't use their effects, and then you can also use the effect of this to equip this one from the graveyard if you dump it with Beatrice. So it's really strong. Additionally, if they somehow got rid of BUSTER BLADER before you doing anything with the Beatrice, with this board, I don't know how they can. There you go. So additionally, if you didn't use Beatrice effect, for example, in this, you can just, like for example, this dies. You still have the fusion spell. You can also dump the fusion trap card. So you use the Beatrice effect to dump the fusion trap card. So you dump this, and then during since this is a trap card, you can use it to fusion your opponent's turn. So you banish this card, probably the Sue and the BUSTER BLADER. So you banish these three to make this. So it's basically you can't use effects because you still have these two on your opponent's side. So there's two ways of doing it, but I prefer the domain bit. Well, you can also domain on that anyway. I prefer the domain bit to with the super poly with this one on your opponent's side. So that setup is very strong combo. So that's the second combo that I like using on Hieratics. And yes, if you could work out other combos, it's basically you make up the combo on the spot. One time I used it was a funny time when I used this card and Lazuli that I drew, like a normal summon Lazuli and a normal summon Labrador Dragon to make a Black Rose. That was pretty funny. It's not really much of a combo, but it's just a funny janky combo. But yeah, that's a lot of combos you can do. So yes, this is the Hieratics BUSTER BLADER build. I hope you enjoy it. And if you want to test it out, it's actually very consistent, and the combos and stuff, because it's sort of optimized and it's got a draw engine and stuff. So the only biggest problem really, as I mentioned, is if you draw like Trick Clown and Jet Synchro, which stops some of the combos that you can do. So yeah, that's the BUSTER BLADER deck profile. Hope you guys like that. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.